Hello. It is only 18 days to go until Brexit. Yay! And I thought today that what we might do is go through a bit of the lies that were told leading up to the vote on the referendum and the lies that have been told after the referendum. So feast your ears on a bit of reality. Here are some things that Remainers told Brexiteers when the vote went through. British immigration officers would be thrown out of France. Didn't happen, did it? And there would be migration camps in Kent. Well, that didn't happen, did it? Just 2 weeks after the vote, the French government stated that the old arrangement would remain. You'd like to remain, wouldn't you? But you can't. There would be, number two, there would be an emergency budget. So this is before we all voted to leave. Within 2 days of the vote, the emergency budget idea had been scrapped. Another thing to scare you. Number three, our stock market would collapse. In actual fact, the British stock market is the best performing stock market in the whole of Europe at this time. So that didn't come true. Nick Clegg, number four, Nick Clegg branded the words of Nigel Farage telling people that the EU would be making their own army. He described it as a fictitious lie. 3 months after the Brexit vote went through, Juncker announced plans for an EU army because he's mental. Number five, David Cameron said he would not resign as Prime Minister if he lost the referendum. Number six, Remainers said that we, the UK, could manage our immigration policy while in the EU. Which turned out to be a lie, didn't it? Universities would lose funding from Horizon 2020, which came through Europe. The Chancellor, Philip Hammond, agreed to keep the funding in place immediately after the vote. Number eight, voting to leave the EU would affect the UK economy immediately. We are the second biggest growing economy in Europe. If you look at France is in a depression, and Germany is in a depression, and we are thriving since the vote. So everybody's going to say now, yeah, but what's going to happen when we leave the EU? Then we're buggered. Yeah, all right. Britain would be back of the queue for US deals. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but this is in the time of David Cameron leading up to the referendum, and President Obama came out and said that Britain would be at the back of the queue for any deals with the USA, which then came out when David Cameron left the office at number 10 to be a complete lie. And David Cameron had asked Barack Obama to actually say that, to put the shits up us. It was another lie from the government. Hard border would be required in Ireland if there was a no deal. Remainers even said that this would affect the Good Friday Agreement, all of which is full on bullshit. Okay, it's all total nonsense. Temporary borders last were put up in Ireland during the foot and mouth disease in 2001 to protect cattle. That's the only time ever since the Good Friday Agreement that there's been any borders. Both the British government, the Irish government and the EU government have all said that under no circumstances they will ever erect a hard border in Ireland. There you go. 18 days to go. There's a few lies for you. Tomorrow we will do lies that the Brexiteers said, just to make you all feel better if you really wanted to stay. Liars, 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 liars.